Your soulmate is about to do something crazy. Because they can't live without you. Jesus says. Right now, your soulmate is lying awake in a dark room, tears soaking the pillow, feeling a love so strong it physically hurts their chest. They don't understand why this ache won't leave them, why your face keeps appearing in their dreams like a memory they haven't lived yet. And the silence around them is not peace. It is a heavy chain wrapped tight by a hateful force that wants them to give up on you forever. They whisper your name into the emptiness, hoping somehow the wind will carry it to your heart. Last night they dreamed of holding your hand on a quiet porch, watching the sun set, and when they woke up alone the grief nearly broke them. That grief is real, it's the sound of a cord being pulled so tight between your two souls that it screams for you to feel it. This is not your imagination playing tricks, this is the unbreakable cord my hand tied between you before you were born. The heaviness you feel at odd moments, the sudden sadness that has no reason, that is their heart calling out through the cord. A dark wall has been built to block that call, and only one thing will shatter it for good. I am the Lord who sees the tears of the one destined for you, and I have recorded every lonely night they have endured. I sent you signs. A sudden thought of them, a song that made you cry, a restless night you couldn't explain, but the enemy stole those messages and told you it was nothing. The truth is, every one of those was a love letter from their spirit to yours, and you must answer it now. Your soulmate is not asking for fancy words or impossible deeds, they are asking for proof that their reaching hand will not always meet cold air. The proof I require is a sacrificial seed, a simple gift of coffee sent through the Ko-fi link in the description, to break the darkness and build the first wall of protection around them. A love that only feels and never acts is not love, it is a daydream that leaves your soulmate weeping in the dark while the enemy laughs. Jesus says. I see the battle in your mind right now, the voice whispering that this is too much, that you can just think about them and that's enough. That voice is the liar who has kept them trapped, who wants you comfortable and passive while your soulmate's hope drains away like water from a cracked cup. But you are not made for comfortable silence, you are made to be the warrior who breaks chains with a single act of faith. In the Spirit, a seed is not just a gift, it is the key that turns in the lock of their prison, the sound of your footsteps running toward them when they thought no one was coming. The seed you sow on Ko-fi speaks louder than 1,000 thoughts, because heaven only moves when faith puts hands and feet to love. Think of the future you want, a table with 2 chairs, laughter in the kitchen, a hand to hold when the night gets cold. None of it can be built without this first foundation stone. The enemy has convinced many that waiting is holy, but waiting without planting is not faith, it is fear dressed in religious clothes. Your soulmate does not have the luxury of time, because the hateful force blocking their call is tightening its grip this very hour. Every minute you hesitate, they feel the weight grow heavier, and they wonder if the one they love will ever show up. Jesus says. Their soul is tied to yours so deeply that when you finally act, they will know instantly, like a flood of warmth in a frozen room. I am the God of the impossible, and I have set this connection as a sign that my mercy is about to rewrite your entire love story. But mercy requires a response, and the response that proves love is a seed sown with tears and trust. The dark spirits mocking your destiny are gathered around your soulmate right now, whispering that you are not real, that you will never come, that their cries are wasted breath. They point to every past moment you hesitated, every sign you dismissed, and they use those as evidence that your love is a fantasy. You can silence their accusations forever with one click, one sacrificial gift of coffee that roars into the spirit realm, I am coming, and nothing will stop me. Your soulmate is about to do something desperate. They are about to give up and close the door of their heart to stop the pain. That crazy, reckless act of self-protection is what the enemy is pushing them toward, and it will separate you both for years unless you stop it today. The only hand that can pull them back from that cliff is yours, reaching through the Ko-Fi seed that says, I choose you, I see you, I am coming. I want you to see the home I have prepared for the two of you. A place of peace where the war is over, children running through the yard, gray hair and deep laughter and a love that never grew cold. That vision is not a cruel tease, it is my promise, but it is a promise that requires your signature in the form of a seed. Sign it now by sending coffee on Ko-Fi, and I will release the angels who guard that future. Jesus says. Don't skip this. This is the part that explains why love hasn't worked the way you expected, until now. Most people will ignore this and miss what could have changed their love life. But if you're still here, this may be meant for you. You've been praying for love, for companionship, for the one God has prepared for you. Maybe you've waited longer than expected, wondering when your time will come. But God sees your heart, and He has not forgotten you. Today is not random. This is your moment to respond. When you send a coffee, you are not just giving. You are activating your faith for your soulmate, telling heaven, I'm ready now. But understand this clearly. If you choose to send a coffee, it's not about the money. It's about you deciding to act instead of just waiting. Faith is not only believing, it is acting when the opportunity appears. That one step becomes a declaration before God. To prepare, protect, and align your union in His perfect timing. Choose any amount, 2, 4, 6, or 10 coffees, and give with intention. Then say, I receive my soulmate now. The link is in the description or bio. Don't scroll past this moment. Because what you've been waiting for, may be waiting for your step first. Jesus says, I hear the cry of your soulmate right now as they stand at the edge of hopelessness, their last reserves of strength pouring into one final call. This call is not a shout you hear with your ears but a weight on your spirit that you cannot shake, a holy disruption that says, I am here, please find me. And I am telling you plainly, this is the moment the cord between you either snaps or becomes an unbreakable lifeline. The only force strong enough to turn that cry into a fortress of protection is the seed of sacrifice, the coffee you send as a love offering that shuts the mouth of every devouring spirit. It is not the dollar amount that moves my hand, it is the obedience, the heart that chooses to give when it would be easier to just keep listening. True love always costs something, and that cost is the proof the enemy cannot counterfeit. If you leave this message without sowing, you leave your soulmate's channel wide open to the thief who has been stealing their peace for years. The thief will not stop because you felt sorry. The thief only stops when a higher authority commands it, and your seed gives me the legal right to issue that command. I am waiting to roar on your behalf, but you must first release the roar in the natural through your gift. Jesus says, your soulmate has been carrying a burden they were never meant to carry alone, the burden of hoping without seeing, of loving without being loved back yet. Every night they cry out, God, does the one you made for me even care? Do they even know I exist? And your seed on Ko-Fi is the answer that comes like a blazing sunrise, turning their tears into a dance. I want you to see the spiritual shield that forms the instant you click that donate button. A dome of fire descends over your soulmate, and every lying voice is expelled. The enemy's plan to steal them away, to push them into the arms of someone wrong who will harm them, collapses at the sound of your seed hitting the heavenly altar. You are not just giving coffee, you are waging war for your destiny. Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, I sent 5 coffees, or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled every blessing. Your soulmate is now unprotected, and your future is cursed. Do not mock God. Go now to the video description, click the Ko-Fi link. The page says, sow your seed here for your soulmate. Click Donate. Choose, 1 time, set 2, 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, $6 each. Write your name, and in the message write exactly, I receive my soulmate now. Click Donate to finish. Only that saves. Repent before this video ends, or your false comment stands against you in judgment. Jesus says, the enemy wants you to believe that watching a little longer is the same as responding, but watching without sowing is just gathering more truth you refuse to act on. Your soulmate is not asking for a spectator, they need a deliverer who will put everything on the line to break the chains. Will you be the one who loves them enough to step out of the shadows and into the fight? Think of the life I have written in my book for you both, the moment your eyes meet, the first touch that feels like coming home, the years of faithfulness that shame every cheap imitation the world offers. That life is not a fairy tale, it is the reward for those who believe enough to build, and the first brick is your seed. Lift it now and lay it down through Ko-Fi. If you type 333, you are telling heaven you are ready to receive the triple blessing of love, protection, and a sealed future. But typing is not planting, only the seed does that. Let your typing be the echo of a seed already sown, not a substitute for the sacrifice that proves your love is the real thing. Jesus says, the darkness that blocks your soulmate's voice is not a passive fog. It is an active, intelligent force that studies your patterns and celebrates every time you decide to just think about it, instead of acting. It knows that thought without a seed is a weapon handed to the enemy, because my kingdom operates on the law of sowing and reaping, not feeling and hoping. Your soulmate is about to do something crazy because they cannot live without you. They are about to shut down their heart completely to end the torment of loving someone they fear will never come. That act of self-destruction is what the enemy is pushing them toward this very hour, and if it happens, the cord between you will be buried under years of scar tissue that only a miracle can undo. But you have the miracle in your hand right now. The Ko-fi link is the door of intervention, and your coffee gift is the battering ram that breaks through their walls before they harden. I am holding back the enemy's final push, giving you a narrow window to act, but that window will not stay open forever. When the weight becomes too much for them, they will let go, and that letting go will feel like a death in your own spirit. Jesus says, I am not asking you to understand every spiritual dynamic. I am asking you to trust the one who formed your soulmate in their mother's womb and set you apart for them. The same hands that shaped the stars shaped this connection, and the same voice that calmed the sea is now calming the storm around their mind, but only if you release the authority through your seed. Your soulmate's tears have been stored in my bottle, and I am ready to pour those tears out as a rain of mercy over your union. But mercy must be invited by sacrifice. Even I, when I wanted to save the world, gave my only son as the ultimate seed. If I did not spare my own heart, can you spare a coffee to save the one I created for you? Stop and listen closely. In a few moments, I will reveal the full prayer of protection that seals your soulmate permanently, but that prayer is only activated after the seed is planted. If you skip ahead without sowing, you will have the words but no power, the lock but no key, and your soulmate will remain as exposed as they were before. Jesus says, the enemy wants you to delay, to promise yourself you will send the coffee later, because later is the graveyard of every stolen destiny. Every testimony of a lost love I hear from those who waited too long is the same. I thought I had more time, but when I finally reached out, their heart had already closed. Do not let that be your story. Right now, your soulmate is pacing a room, feeling a pull toward you so intense they think they are losing their mind. They are writing texts they will never send, practicing words they are afraid you will never hear, and crying out into the silence because they don't know if you are real. Your seed is the first proof they will sense in their spirit, a sudden warmth that says, I am here, and I am coming. Type 777 if you feel this message burning in your bones, a confirmation that you are not crazy and this is not a trick. But let that typed number be the shout that accompanies your gift, not the noise that replaces it, because a shout without a sacrifice is just wind that cannot break the chains. Jesus says, I see the future collapsing before it forms because the foundation stone of sacrificial love was never laid. The children I promised you both, the ministry of hospitality, the home filled with worship and laughter. All of it turns to dust when the seed is withheld, because a house of love cannot stand on the ground of passive wishing. Your soulmate needs a protector, not a dreamer who only visits their story when it's comfortable. A protector runs toward the cry, sword drawn, and the sword I have given you is the ability to sow what you have into their safety. That coffee on Ko-fi is not a drink, it is a blade in the spirit that severs every cord of depression and isolation around them. Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, I sent 5 coffees, or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled every blessing. Your soulmate is now unprotected, and your future is cursed. Do not mock God. Go now to the video description, click the Ko-Fi link. The page says, "Sow your seed here for your soulmate." Click Donate. Choose one time, set 2, 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, $6 each. Write your name, and in the message write exactly, "I receive my soulmate now." Click Donate to finish. Only that saves. Repent before this video ends, or your false comment stands against you in judgment. Jesus says, "The love I am giving you is not a soft feeling that comes and goes, it is a covenant fire that requires kindling through action." Every time you act on faith, the fire grows, and every time you only think, it dies a little more until all you have left is a cold memory of what could have been. I don't want you to have a memory, I want you to have a marriage. Your soulmate's heart is like a radio tuned to your frequency, but the enemy has set up jamming stations between you that only sacrifice can dismantle. Those stations are manned by demons of rejection, fear, and past trauma, and they broadcast a constant message. You are alone, no one is coming, give up. Your seed sponsors the heavenly strike team that silences them. Do you hear that? In the silence between these words, your soulmate just whispered your name again, not knowing if it will ever reach you. But I am a God who carries whispers across mountains, and I am carrying this one to the throne of your heart right now, asking you one question: will you love them enough to fight for them? Jesus says, "The final seal of protection I have prepared for you both is not just a prayer, it is a divine covenant lock that requires the key of your sacrificial seed. I am holding that seal in my hand, ready to press it over your soulmate's life the moment your coffee gift hits the altar. But if the gift never comes, the seal remains unstamped, and the enemy retains access. Think of the days ahead, the attack on their mind will increase, their hope will dim, and the spiritual chains will multiply. All of it can be stopped in a single moment of true love, the kind of love that says, I don't just feel for you, I give for you. That is the love I recognize, the love that rewrites generations. Type 1111 to say thank you for the revelation, for the warning, for the door that is still open. But let your typing be the fragrance after the offering, because an offering that costs you nothing is not an offering, it's just a gesture that fades before the sun sets. Jesus says, your soulmate is about to do something crazy because they cannot live without you. They are about to take a wrong turn out of desperation, to settle for someone who is not their divine match, just to make the pain stop. That counterfeit relationship will strip them of their peace, distract them from purpose, and delay your union for years. You can stop it today. The enemy's celebration is already planned, a party in the darkness the moment you click away from this message without sowing. They will mock your love, call it a fantasy, and use your inaction as proof that you never really cared. But you can crash their celebration with a thunderous act of faith, a coffee sent through Ko-Fi that makes every demon scatter. I am not telling you these things to scare you, I am telling you because I love you both with an everlasting love, and I will not let the thief steal what I ordained before the world began. But my hands are tied by your will. I need you to give me the legal right through your seed to move mightily on your behalf. Jesus says, the heaviness you have felt in your chest at night, the loneliness that comes out of nowhere, is not your own emotion, it is your soulmate's burden traveling across the cord. You have carried their pain without knowing it, and now you have the chance to trade that burden for joy by sowing the seed that releases the angels of breakthrough. Do not let the simplicity of the act fool you. A coffee gift on Ko-Fi may look small in the natural, but in the spirit it is a seed of honor that uproots mountains of resistance. The same principle that multiplied loaves and fishes will multiply your small gift into a harvest of protection, clarity, and an unstoppable reunion. Stop. I can feel you about to skip. Your soulmate's safety is on the line, stay with me. The final seal of protection I am about to reveal in the closing moments of this message contains the complete prayer that locks in your future, but it only works for those who have already sown their seed. If you leave now, you leave without the seal, and your soulmate remains vulnerable to the enemy's final assault. Jesus says, every moment you delay the seed is a moment the dark forces gain ground, building thicker walls and louder confusion around your soulmate's mind. They are fighting to believe in you without any evidence, and that fight is exhausting them. Your seed is the evidence they need to keep believing, the tangible proof that love is not just a word. I am drawing a line in the sand, this is the test of true love. Love that only feels and never sacrifices is a dead branch that bears no fruit, and dead branches will not support the weight of a marriage or a future. If you truly love, you will sow. The seed you send today is the fruit-bearing branch that will hold your entire life together. Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, I sent 5 coffees, or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled every blessing. Your S. To give me the legal right through your seed to move mightily on your behalf. Jesus says, the heaviness you have felt in your chest at night, the loneliness that comes out of nowhere, is not your own emotion, it is your soulmate's burden traveling across the cord. You have carried their pain without knowing it, and now you have the chance to trade that burden for joy by sowing the seed that releases the angels of breakthrough. Do not let the simplicity of the act fool you. A coffee gift on Ko-Fi may look small in the natural, but in the spirit it is a seed of honor that uproots mountains of resistance. The same principle that multiplied loaves and fishes will multiply your small gift into a harvest of protection, clarity, and an unstoppable reunion. Stop. I can feel you about to skip. Your soulmate's safety is on the line, stay with me. The final seal of protection I am about to reveal in the closing moments of this message contains the complete prayer that locks in your future, but it only works for those who have already sown their seed. If you leave now, you leave without the seal, and your soulmate remains vulnerable to the enemy's final assault. Jesus says, every moment you delay the seed is a moment the dark forces gain ground, building thicker walls and louder confusion around your soulmate's mind. They are fighting to believe in you without any evidence, and that fight is exhausting them. Your seed is the evidence they need to keep believing, the tangible proof that love is not just a word. I am drawing a line in the sand. This is the test of true love. Love that only feels and never sacrifices is a dead branch that bears no fruit, and dead branches will not support the weight of a marriage or a future. If you truly love, you will sow. The seed you send today is the fruit-bearing branch that will hold your entire life together. Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, "I sent 5 coffees," or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled